All right, kids, yet another pop-up live. You're so lucky. Try not to be an idiot. We are going to call a landlord that my client says is a layup, oh boy, in Michigan. And then you remember Eric in Illinois. Well, there's that word again. I just love my buttons. We said that we're going to put the $36,000 check he's supposed to bring into the landlord on hold until the landlord's agent reaches out and says, gee, Willikers, what happened to you guys? We'll do that next. Hit the thing and do the stuff. Always prepared. Now's where
I'm
you
sorry,
subscribe.
the person you were trying to reach has a...
What up, Danny?
Do you know what your voicemail says?
My neighborhood service sucks, so it says something it's different every time. What's it say?
It says the person you've reached has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet.
I don't even know. I get enough voicemails on my work line. But thanks for the call. But so here's the deal. It's crazy how shit happens. So I sell fireworks, you know what I mean? Because I spend too much money on fireworks. So I said, hey, why not sell them? Set up a tent. So I had this kid help me.
You're kidding.
And then
you sell fireworks?
Yeah.
You get the good stuff in Michigan?
Yeah.
500
and I
gram?
got the 500 1.4 is what we're allowed to sell, but I got access to 1.3.
I'm gonna need to get you. We're gonna need to talk. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got you for whatever you need.
How big are the mortars that you sell?
So I got the 6-inch, but the ones that are like I sell the legal ones, but I can get you ones that are coconut sizes.
Jesus. Yeah, that'll be nice. All right, we'll talk further. So what happened?
So this kid was helping me out. He's my one of my friend's nephews, and then he was just asking me for advice and stuff like that. And we were pulling up to my storage unit. I was like, "You should try to find one of these." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I was thinking this or Laundromat." One thing led to another. He's like, "My friend's dad just bought him bought a laundromat, and it was the last laundromat that we called." So I was like, "Call your friend for me right now." And then he called his friend. And his friend, we've been calling the wrong number. He still has the old management number in there.
There you
the
go.
HRK. Yeah. So remember the one that kept going to fax?
Yeah.
So anyway, so the kids, the kids.
How long have we been calling the wrong number?
For like 4 weeks. The public records haven't changed ownership yet. That's where I get my information from.
Yeah.
So let me go to
Be
Google
careful
Docs.
what you say. We just might be on YouTube. So don't don't give any details.
Oh, I got you.
All right. So the kid that works for you says my friend's dad
just bought it.
Bought a laundromat. Okay.
Yep.
And this is a complete. What's the status of the store? Is it open, closed, operating, shut down?
It's open. He has a 17 or 18-year-old son running it. And his son's like, my dad doesn't even care about the laundromat. He bought it for the 4 units upstairs. His dad's a real estate agent.
Okay.
So I was thinking,
crazy.
I mean, it's perfect. They closed in February, and it's a shithole. It's the one on.
Don't say any addresses or anything else.
I get you. Gray House. It's labeled.
Okay, that's why we give them nicknames.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
And then let me give you the number. Hold on. Let me.
So just put it in the document. So your thinking is, first and foremost, for the internet and the rest of the folks, dude, I can't control, nor am I upset by you giving me a wrong number, because we call it for an entire month. I've done this for 6, 7, 8, 9 months, and then we finally say, oh, it's a landline, and then it rings into a fax. Well, it's some working number at some factory somewhere in Detroit. Maybe they used to make Chevrolets, I don't know, and we can't possibly know. No one's going to be able to call us back. No one can call us back. It's maddening. But then literally through human contact, you find out that's the wrong number and here's the right number. So here we are.
Yeah. All right. And
Frustrating,
I'm
but
posting it.
it's part of it. All right. So this
Yeah,
is
it's nuts.
your friend's kid's cousin's ex-roommate who saw Ferris pass out at 31 Flavors. And
Right.
that's good.
So, I mean, hopefully, because the fact that he said his dad didn't even want the laundromat, he doesn't care for it, and he just has his like 18-year-old
Well, we'll
son.
see.
Yeah.
We shall see. This is the number, right? And the guy's name. Okay, his name is Mike.
Yeah.
Now, did the kid's friend say, yeah, call my dad, or is this all hearsay, secondhand gibberish?
No, so the kid thinks
we sound like we're in grade school, right? Hey, I want to take her to the prom.
Right.
Can you go ask if she likes me? But it's necessary, even in business. All right. So what does Mike know? What does the owner of the building know?
I don't think he knows anything unless his son told him, because I told his son that I was interested, and then he was a little hesitant because like I said, I think he thinks he's the owner. So I was like, but he messed up. Yeah, the kid, and he messed up, and he said what his father's name was, and I knew his last name, and he said that he was a realtor. So I was like, all right, that's all I need, and I googled the name, and realtor in my area, and he popped up.
Okay. Have you vetted this number in any way?
No, but if you know.
You fucking asshole. All right.
I'm sorry, I've been busy with this tent.
No, I know. Tent. You and your tent. As an aside, I just found a website that would send me 500 grams, and if you spend $1,500, you get 0 shipping, not even hazmat. They take care of the hazmat, right? And I just spent $1,500, so you and I are going to have to talk.
Oh yeah, call me. I know. I got all the connects.
I like to blow shit up. Okay, I changed the nickname, and this is all very exciting. Mike is the guy. Now, did you Google his number in other words, reverse his number? Because that's also part of what I ask you to do. You and your sweaty ass tent. Okay, yeah, he pops up. You can see his little face. You can see that he's a big time realtor. I think you're right, and here we are speculating. I'm not big into academics, right? We talk about this right now. It's all academia. Gee whiz, I wonder what this guy will do. Well, only this guy, Mike, the realtor who owns this building, who is the new landlord, whose number you found through cousin Ferris, can tell us what he wants to do. So the calm and balanced method that I use to speak to him is just, hey, buddy, this is what we want to do. Now, speculation and or guessing is that, well, he gave it to his kid to run, and I can see the photos that you took, and I'm seeing industry standard folding tables, very old equipment. The tumblers are double stacked, so every single one of them should be running and operating. We know that tumblers, look, your pool has a crack in it. That's the worst thing that could possibly happen. Someone can still come in, drain your pool, refinish it, put water in it, and you've got a working pool that you can swim in, right? The worst thing that can happen to a tumbler, well, the motor goes bad. Wrong. The motor can be rewound or replaced. It's got a motor. It's got a couple of igniters for the hot box. It's got gas coming in. You ever had a gas grill that went bad? No, they don't go bad. They get rusty on the outside, maybe. The worst thing that could happen to a tumbler is the drum goes bad and gets ruined. And that's from years of neglect, not changing the skateboard wheels. Someone throws some screws in there, you'll hear it. Ironically, I had an attendant in one of my stores who was stone deaf. I'm not sure that's the way you say it, but I'd go in the store and I would have to go pull the drywall screws from the working man out of those tumblers because he could never hear it. And I didn't blame him, but I would tell all the other attendants, hey, you hear that sound? That's ruining that tumbler. And it would take days, if not over a week, to ruin it. And that's so expensive that you might as well replace the dryer type of thing, right? Your tranny goes bad on your 87 Toyota Corolla. So I'm looking at these, I'm thinking, okay, I love to see double stacks because you could paint them. They wouldn't be cream color anymore. There is no issue with parts. What is that? The security cam where I see bars on the window, or is that Orange is the New Black that's on the TV?
I think it's Orange is the New Black or something. I didn't notice any. Let me check.
It looks
Is
like
this
it's
no, it's
either
TV.
it's a prison show. I thought it was like the picture of the bars on the windows, which they don't have bars, so that's good. They painted it light blue. It's clean. It's clean. So this is after the kid took it over, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So he cleaned up. Now, you're over there selling fireworks with this hourly wage under the table kid, I assume, risking your life. And do you ever say, hey, how often does he spend in there? Like, are you just poking at him about all the stuff? How much time does he spend in there?
It was right when I was dropping him off. That's how crazy this happened. It was literally right when he was getting out my truck. Yeah.
All right, whatever. We don't need a lot of intel. We just need to speak to Mike. So all of this hype, hopefully he will answer his phone. As you know, I call these numbers. I don't block my line. And, honestly, a lot of times they say, oh, goodness gracious, what is free laundromat? Why is this person calling me? And, if you own property and you get calls from tons of realtors, as I do, lots of property in 2 countries, the phone always rings with realtors, and I'm not going to answer it. Now, I'm trying to gain new properties, so those people I know because I've made outgoing calls. All right, I'm a little excited. I'm sorry. Not about this, but about the next call.
No, you're good.
The next call I'm going to make. All right, let's call him up. Stand by. And I'll say something else before I hit send, dial. Another email that I just fielded. G. Willikers, Danny. I don't think they said that, but that's me. G. Willikers, Danny. You've been doing this for 20 years. I'm in Michigan. I'm in New York. I'm in LA. These people have so much fear. What happens when I hire you and I find out that every store has been scouted and you know every real estate agent and they know you? That hasn't happened. It may happen someday. I'm not so prevalent and vast in this universe that these people, I'm about to dial this number that I've never dialed before. He's a working realtor. He has no connection to laundromats. He doesn't know how to run it. Again, I think that the road we have to hoe is saying, pitch your kid out of there, right? And I'm going to tell him, I know for a fact that your son's running it. God bless you. I've got an 18-year-old daughter. I can press that nerve. I don't mind doing that. That's easy for me. Some people say the gift of gab. Well, I'm trying to get what I want, right? And that's not bad.
Right.
It's all about the human connection. But I just want to talk on that email because I just fielded that email. I just answered it, and I answer it a lot. And you know what I say? Have you gone out in Michigan or LA or New York? Have you gone and looked? Because
listen, I know you have one of your clients in my area because I've heard you talk before, and me and that client are probably like from the cities you've mentioned on your show, on your YouTube shows. He's probably like 20 minutes away from me, and him and I have never gotten the same laundromat so far. Never
overlap. There's too many stores. The Coin Laundry Association themselves says there's 29. The big lie is that 95% of laundromats never fail. That's bullshit. How could they know when no one knows how many stores there even are in the U.S. or the world? No one knows because so many of them don't have any public or online presence. The CLA says there's 29,000. Then there's others that say this is a $5 billion a year industry. Who gives a fuck? If I'm not getting 1 billion of that, what do I care? And when you break it down, a typical, and I just read this, a typical chick-a-flick, that's what I call Chick-fil-A. A typical chick-a-flick makes in 3 weeks what a typical laundromat makes in a year, net. Now, do you want to be typical? No. Will you be typical? No, never, because you're not buying the store and you don't have debt service on the fucking 300 grand. Seems kooky, but it also is mother real. And now you know we're on YouTube. Okay, again, it's the monster under the bed. It's the fear. It's the constant, oh, well, I'm in New York. I just heard you talk to a guy in New York. Go out and scout. See for yourself. I'm not going to tell you in that email, go buy my course. I say, go look around. Get off your hump and go look at laundromats. Every store doesn't have white walls. They don't know what that means. You do. With brand new equipment, a red carpet, a sign that says barbecue in the summer and coat drives in the winter, and a giant 8-by-8-foot picture of Danny's face smiling saying, your founder's friend. It doesn't happen. Again, maybe someday it will, and I'll have to sell fireworks with you. I would love that. I usually drive by the fireworks stand and just throw a lit flare in there, and I have a great show for free. It's got to be your fear. You are aware that my pickup truck has flamethrowers on it. Did you know that?
I did not. You cannot come over.
I'll send you. Well, I have a fighter pilot switch, so it's very safe before you press the other button. So your passengers, that doesn't just eject themselves. This is a true story. I'll text it to you. All right, we're calling them up. Here we go. Further ado, without, stand by. Here we go. Now's where you subscribe. Come on, kids. Come on, Mike. You mother.
Mike.
Hey, Mike. My name's Danny. I am looking at location that this might be your laundromat with some apartments above it. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yes.
A friend of a friend.
Yeah, it is.
Knows all about it. Thank you very much.
Sure.
I am in that business. I've been doing laundries. My partner and I. Oh, hold on. Let me make sure this call doesn't come in. Stay where you're at. Mike, sorry about that.
Yeah.
I've been doing coin laundromats for 21 plus years. I have a few stores, Michigan. We go out and look at these locations interested in signing a long-term lease with willing landlords, and then I put new equipment in with my partner. I'm not a big clearinghouse. I'm not a distributor. I want to be crystal clear. I'm not trying to flip this place and stick you with a tenant that doesn't know what they're doing. I'm fully invested and steeped in the laundry business because I kind of figured out how to do it properly. No one laundry makes me rich, etc. You won't believe this. My partner has a string of fireworks stands, and one of his employees says, "Oh, I know you're into laundromats. My friend's dad has one." So that's how we know. Point blank. Yeah, you're and I believe your 18-year-old son. I don't have a dossier on you or your son, but I looked you up, and you're obviously a realtor. And that's all I know, but I want to tell you that I'm interested in signing a long-term lease with you if and when the laundromat becomes, maybe a thorn in your side, or it's not your primary business. And
I mean, tell me how it works. Give me a little background here. I'm a businessman. I own property, so my ears are always open.
Good, perfect. As is the case with me, other than fighting with the wife. Okay, so my daughters are 16, 19, and 22. So I've heard that your son is basically operating the place, and that might be a sticky widget just to get that out of the way.
No, it's not. No.
Okay, good.
It's not. He's there 2 a week. I got a manager there. Come in and out. So
here's the thing.
So anyway, but
here's the bottom line.
I'm okay with him learning.
Sure. It's fun because it's cash. You could ask me 1.2 million questions about laundromats, and I might not be able to answer one or two, and I'll say, hey, I don't know the answer to that. But I've figured out coin or cash. I've figured out cash versus card. I figured out how I do my vending, all that kind of stuff. And when we drill down on these stores, we make the landlord, i.e. you, the powers that be, pretty happy. We can't pay massive rents. I'm a well-spoken guy. I'm 54 years old. I've been running companies since I'm 28. And this isn't a sales call. I want to lease from you at a reasonable and commensurate rate. Get rid of the equipment. Let me ask you, why do you think I'm calling on this space?
You obviously see something there, right?
Well,
right. You see some.
The something
and it's an
is
established place that's been around for 40 years, 50 years. Yeah.
There you go. And the something is always in real estate. Location, I don't care about where it is. I care that it has infrastructure, cards on the table. I don't have to build it. I don't have to go to the city and mess with too much as far as the gas, water, and electric, but mostly sewage. Because this, if you've ever built a new home, they're going to look for environmental impact fees because nobody wants soap going in the ground. And if we've got 30 machines, it's cost prohibitive. But again, I'm happy to tell you the why. It's not that X number of, I don't do demographic research. It's not that X amount of cars drive by. Bottom line is this.
Right.
The square footage versus what you would like to collect, I'll do a 15-year lease with you, however we get there, 5 and 2 5s. I'm always looking for some abatement up front because I can't get this equipment. They don't just bring it in on a truck tomorrow. It takes time, energy, effort. We'll take the reins. We'll operate the store. You'll have to do absolutely nothing. That's it. What questions do you have for me?
I would want to hear numbers, bottom line, really, to see if
Sure.
it's even worth it for me. I don't know. Yeah, really. I don't know.
My
I don't know
MO,
what makes
yes, of
Yeah.
course. My MO is simple.
Always simple.
And I won't talk about what this laundromat might earn or what it is earning, because that's right now you have a viable business that you are operating. We all know that. But what I want to do is have you flip a switch and go back to becoming a landlord. Now, like I said, I can never, ever, this is something my father taught me, I can't start the process of talking about the lease term and what you want to collect. So that would be a question for you. You've got the apartments upstairs. That's all yours. You keep this dirt. You continue to gain. Obviously, it's going to go up in value. Nothing goes down.
So when you
but
say you
we
bring
take
the
the
equipment
business.
in, right?
Yeah.
Right. So who owns that equipment then?
Which
And what
equipment?
happens at
Which
the end of the
equipment?
lease, or if there's a divorce?
Which
You're
equipment?
saying you're going to bring in new equipment? Are you saying you're going to bring in new equipment? Is that what you said?
Yes,
Or no,
100%.
from the beginning?
So let's go
Okay,
back.
fine. Then.
The equipment,
Yeah.
no offense, the equipment that it is in that location is no longer viable because you're if you understand, I'll move on. But you're not going to have an Uber in a 1987 Toyota Corolla. It shows up, people say, "I'm not getting in that car."
Have you been in the store?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
it's not again. It's a viable business, 100%.
No, that's fine. I'm just out of curiosity. I was just wondering if you've been in there.
Sure. Well, when we see stainless steel equipment, we say, "Oh, that looks brand new," but it's not your slop room in your house. It's a laundry, and those machines are not.
So
we put in new equipment.
So you bring in the
Who
equipment.
owns the equipment at the end of the lease and there's a divorce? It's going to be junk once again. That's why we do 15-year terms. And Mike, we're looking in a viable store. We are looking to retool the store once every 7 years. That's also when my depreciation runs out. So I've got to be smart on every playing field here. When it comes to my taxes, every 7 years. So in 15, that's why we asked for that. You want to do 20? We'll do 20. But the equipment that's there, a lot of times, small-time landlords will say, well, I'm not going to hand you the lease. You have to pay for the equipment that's in there. I don't know if you paid for the equipment in one way or the other. I don't know if you purchased the laundromat. For me, when I own a few strip malls, and when I obtain them, they're usually from existing landlords I have a long-term relationship with. I sign a first right of refusal, and they say, hey, I want to get out of here. Let me charge you $500,000 for the building and $70,000 for the equipment. I'll say no. I say, I don't want to pay for the laundromat. It becomes a free proposition, again, every time. You figure out what you want to collect in rent. If you're not crazy and I'm not crazy, we meet in the middle. Maybe the laundry is something you think, oh, it's picking up gold out of the streets. We all know it's a lot of work. Hiring someone, having a manager, having your son go in there, and he probably barely skims because he's your kid, but it's cash and it's difficult. It's hard to keep in accounting. It's nice when you have 36 locations, but anything beyond that is a hobby. You know that.
Yeah, I hear you. But I also have the ability, which when I purchased it, for the potential to eventually flip it. I flip. I buy and flip. That's what I do. I buy and sell businesses.
Nice. So
houses,
imagine
plazas, strip malls, you name it.
Yeah, if I could press that nerve, imagine selling this building with the apartments upstairs exactly the way it is now. And imagine selling it in a year when I've retooled it, when I've rebranded it, when it's a beautiful, shiny house on a hill. And you're saying, look, you got somebody that's not leaving for 15 years and you can fuck around with the apartments. That's up to you. That's it.
So send me an email so I have your contact info.
Yes.
And if it's something I might want to consider, then I'll reach out to you. That's fine.
Absolutely.
I don't know if it's the thing I want to do right now, but let me give you my email address.
Go, shoot. Got it the first time. Perfect. Mike,
Yeah.
I consider
All
you a
right.
friend. My name is Danny. I'll CC
Sure.
my partner,
Okay,
Mr.
Danny.
Ismail, in the email. And, no pressure, but I'll
Sounds
call
good.
you in 3 months either way and say,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
the hell? And we're going to keep an
Sounds
eye
good.
on it. So if it starts to fall apart,
All right. Sounds
you can
good, Danny.
slap your kid.
Thank you, boss.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. All right.
So he wants to listen and hear me, but then almost instantly he's done with me, right? And I have to mirror that. I'm not going to sit and keep talking. I have to mirror that. Let me. All right, bye. But
100%.
we're making a connection. Why do you think, let's continue the education. Why do you think he wanted to know what I wanted to pay?
He wants to know your numbers first. He doesn't say his numbers first. Is that why?
He wanted to see if I was going to pay him enough that it would make sense for him to instantly tell his kid to fuck off.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Makes sense.
It's a greedy question.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I speak not fast, not slow, not with an accent. I speak intelligently, especially about the business that I know. That's really the reason folks like you bring me in. You're an intelligent guy. You speak how many languages?
2.
2 languages. And yet you bring me on board because you don't speak Laundromatese. And okay, there's more nuance to it. I get it. I'm not going to break my arm patting myself on the back. He has a lot of options.
No, but you're right.
He has a lot of options, and all we did today was provide another option. That other option is landlord. And then when he says, oh, well, he's still, I don't know, maybe his phone rang, maybe he stubbed his toe, but all of a sudden he wants to get off the phone. But just prior to that, he wants to talk, and he says, I flip properties. Put that in the notes. That's what we really need to press. And I told him, I'll press that nerve. You flip properties, flip it like this. What have you done? You have to change something to flip a property. Is he going to go upstairs when Mrs. McGillicuddy finally leaves, paint the walls, throw her old couch out, strangle her cat to death, and then wait for Bob to move out of his apartment, find out that he was a Vietnam vet and there's a case of hand grenades under the bed, whatever. It's going to take years to redo the apartments, right? Unless they were all month to month. You have to do a deep dive. But the laundry, we're offering him the ability without spending much, because we're going to get to that. I did touch on abatement, and I didn't say TI, but he understands it. He's not ready because he asked one question, what do you want to spend? He knows what he wants to collect, and it would be more than market rate because he's a savvy guy, and that's not going to happen. And I can't be desperate either. The desperation comes, imagine all the dipshits out there right now that are just saying, write 1,000 letters to every laundry operator. He's going to start getting those letters once he drops and filters through the system where you had the wrong number for 4 months. Now we know that he's the right guy. You only found that through your friendships, and maybe these folks start to see his number popping up and appearing, and he starts to get offer to buy. Hey, that doesn't hurt us because he's going to hear from morons and idiots from a letter that is basically the same letter coming from different sources. He's like, oh, farming letter number 3, farming letter number. You know what I mean? They're buying a $10,000 course that says buy a letter. And I'm shot out of a cannon because at the end of the day, we've signed 2 leases today. I've been in the office for 11 hours, and now we're calling back in Illinois, where I've been doing ongoing videos with my friend Eric, because I told him, I said, we're not going to give a $36,000 check. I don't know if you're following along at home. You're selling fireworks. So what do we do? Note what was said. You're very good at note taking. I've got his email, and you've got it correct now. That is not a address. It's actually, and I have my mute button, so I muted that out. I have a panel here where only you and I can hear certain things. But it's interesting. He's probably been an agent for them for a very long time, because it's not their email server.
The company.
Yeah, it's him
I know.
at Yahoo. Interesting. Anyway, let me fire him off an email. Find me some more stows, and we will talk soon. I appreciate your taking the time.
Of course. Thank you, Denny.
Don't
Have a
blow
good
yourself up. Goodbye.
Oh, well.
That's my job. All right, let me send the email. and you kids get ready to do the thing. Do you get a notification, tell me, when I go live? Because some people say they do, some people say they do not. So let me know in the live chat. A lot of conspiracy theorems out there. Hey, how is it possible that these landlords don't answer their phones? Well, what if you had the wrong number for 6 months? What if you have the right number and I call up and say, I want your laundromat.com? They're not going to answer the phone. They're not going to do it. So we have to be ambiguous in our messages that we leave. If you're not working with me, you'll hear my messages here and there, but it's basically an ambiguous message that gets them to call us back. If it's a wrong number, you can't expect that 12-year-old girl to dial or text and say, my dad says not to talk to strangers, but you've been calling me for 8 months. It's the wrong number. It's maddening. I hate it. So Mike gets an email. It's a canned email. Laundromat lease. I accidentally put a $sign in the lease thing. Nah, leave it like that. Might work better. And canned meaning it's a predetermined fun email with lots of pictures of my retooled stores in the day, and tells him, let us know. Boom, done. Some of this stuff has to be quick, but it's a well thought out email. Let's, Eric might be on this call. I really don't know. This is how many texts that I have. It's crazy. All righty, kids. Let's do your queries. I'll put a few X's across here, and then two leases signed today. Oh, good God. Does it work in Canada? Come on, dude. I have actual live calls in Canada that equal lease. We've got, where are you, Wade? Come on, Wade. And I have testimonials. I don't do the testimonials as much anymore. I don't want to seem salesy. And when I tell people I don't do this for money, it's the truth. Why do I? You know, look at me. I'm a well put together 54-year-old with some facial scars. And I love it when folks jump on here and don't know me. Oh, Trax NYC is in here. Let's do some gold deals. Good afternoon, Danny, says Damien from New York City. I'm going through the course and excited about the empowering info. We'll be in touch soon and wanted to thank you beforehand for your value and commitment. That sounds like something I made up. Thank you, Damien. Obviously, Damien knows my little rules, which one of is of. Try not to be an idiot. That's a rule. One of my little rules, if your name on the YouTubeinator is Fred Cucumbrio 79, I can't guess that your name might be Fred. If it's Snickle Fritz 18, then just let me know. Hey, this is Bob, blah, blah, blah. So I know who I'm talking to. This is an interaction between you and I, whether it's impersonal or not. Marcus, we know, is Marcus. He says, fire. Good afternoon, Danny. I have some good news for you. I'm paying the negotiation fee so we can get to work. Holy shit, Marcus. It's about time. I remember you being on the YouTubeinator for a long time. I'm excited. That means Marcus has my phone number. We've negotiated. And that's not good news for me, Marcus. It's just more work. It's good news for you. I'm excited. Once you take care of the dirty work and pay my retainer, which is what you would be paying, you're going to get a ton of emails. So excellent. Danny Q says, negotiation fee? How much is it? Well, you, Danny, you don't know because it's not published anywhere. You don't know purposefully. Here's how this works. I'm not going to say it. No one's going to say it. It's really, truly none of your business. You go to my website, freelaundromat.com. There's a link in every single video. There's a silly course there. That course, I call it silly for a reason. It's been the same exact price for 21 years. Gas, eggs, your girlfriend, everything goes up in price, but not that thing. I don't feel like I don't need to zap anybody for any more money. Now, my negotiation fee, my consultation, the next step, the interim step would be that Danny says, you know what? I want to talk to Danny. Me, Danny, not you, Danny. So you have to have seen the course. Imagine that. If we got on the phone right now, good God, the last email I got about this was like 20 minutes ago. Here we go. Not going to give away any names. This was from 11:44 a.m. my time. I like how fake guru, shitty fake influencers say, this is a question I get all the time. Let me give you the answer on Instagram. This is a question you get all the time? You have 14 followers and you sell a course. Who's asking you this question? Then I might be an idiot and go deep dive and try to figure out how I could find their email address. I can't find it anywhere. There's no plausible way to ask them. Are they DMing them on TikTok? Good God in heaven. Hi, Danny. I'm an attorney, but I'm going to start investing in small businesses on the side. The idea is to develop these investments into businesses. He's probably going to sue me, this guy, that my 2 young sons can choose to run when they are older, if that interests them. Fuck it, man. Crack the whip. Better interest them. Family business. By the way, kids love cash, so it's really a good learning tool, if that interests them. I was initially considering investing in real estate, and that's still a possibility. Bro, if you got money, buy some dirt. But my wife suggested I look into laundromats. I found my way to you on your YouTube page, and your approach has been the most level-headed one I've come across. So I assume he's seen other fake guru. I was hoping you and I could speak for about 15 minutes so that I could try to understand whether laundromats are right for us. I'm not sure at this point. Thanks. This is all kinds of silly. I write him back, as I do everyone who emails me. Try it, Danny@freelaundromat.com. And I answer his question, which is, I don't know, but it's great for your boys. And then I say, 15 minutes? Come on, dude. I'm not going to do that to you. You need to see a silly course in order to figure out if this is right for you, counselor. Truth. Truth for everyone thinking about this. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So I email him back. His question really is, can I talk to you for 15 minutes? I'm not sure. There are pieces of dog out there that sell consultations. The last time I heard about one of them, it was $750 for 30 minutes. What can you say in 30 minutes? Help a brother out. That's disgusting. And this gentleman who consulted with me told me about it. And I said, what'd you learn? He said, nothing. In 30 minutes, nothing. How do you do that? How do you cut that time off? He goes, well, it was a Zoom call and there was a timer. And then at about 28 minutes in, he said, well, gee whiz, we should probably book some more time. What a racket. Wow. That's awesome. Any of you on this live consulted with me? Was it anything like you thought it would be? I get to know you. I want to get to know you. Not doing this for money truly means that I don't need to fucking look at a clock, have a hourglass that I flip over, because for me, that would be horrible. I will never forget the day of hourly wage jobs, mostly because my mind races and I have a high IQ and I was staring at the clock thinking about all the other things I could be doing. Don't get me started on my Navy days. People hate work, heavy lifting. But if you're out there doing a job where you're trying to play Fortnite rather than work, it's probably something deeper. You email me this, you're going to get the truth. You're going to get the horn. Messed with the bull. So I wrote him back and I said, bro, I'm not trying to be salesy, but get the silly course. Find out if it's right for you. And then towards the last course video, you can press a button and we can get on the telephone. That sometimes pisses people off. And I understand. Oh my God, he just wrote me back. He just wrote me back. Swear on my kids' balls, they're all girls. Okay, there's my email. Thanks for your prompt. I thought he was going to say, dude, why are you talking about me online right now? Thanks for your prompt reply and for the link. Danny, I'll download course and email you, set up call when I'm more educated. Hope you have a good week. That's awesome. Reply. Ha! Exclamation point. I'm on a live right now, quote, talking, end quote, about you. No names. Don't sue me. Great back and forth. I appreciate you. I am not good at typing, but I'm getting better every minute. And then the subject is live. Can I send him the link to this live? I think I could if I was really smart. Here we go. I hope you're all enjoying this because I really don't give a shit, obviously, whether or not it's too entertaining. Here's the link. We'll see. If you pop on here, counselor, say hello. Unless you don't want to cross-contaminate what your YouTube handle is with all this stuff. Live is here. I don't know. I'm having fun with this. Okay. More to come, more to do, more excitement. Now I'm back to you guys. Marcus, good afternoon, Danny. Here we go. Danny, thank you for your sound advice. I love watching you, and you're the master negotiator. Thank you, Tim. I'm not sure that I am a master of anything but my own domain. Seinfeld. Negotiation fee, how much is it? None of your business. We just talked about that. Danny, question, is it still... Danny Q, it's in the silly course. Well worth... Oh, Danny. He's answering. Jeff is answering for me. Well worth the money. Thank you, Jeff. What's up, Danny? Look, kids, I don't charge anywhere near for anything that I do what I should, and that goes to my background. That goes to, if you watch my lifestyle stream on here, there's a playlist. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not a negotiator. I'm a father first. That's the most important job any of us will ever do. I'm a tinkerer. I like to hammer nails. I have flamethrowers on my pickup truck. I love the fact that my wife winds me up and I get angry only because we are passionate about our love for each other. Hopefully she's listening. I do this because when I first got involved in laundromats, there were charlatans, liars, and scumbags everywhere. And it was my hope to give the truth and the gospel to everyone who could listen. And just somebody standing next to me at an event wasn't enough. So I created this here YouTube channel. Decades ago, guys, you can see that. If you're looking, listening, I'm not here to disparage what anybody else does, but if they're lying to you, oh, come on. I hear it all the time, more and more. I feel poorly because someone goes out and gives $10,000 to someone for a course where they don't even have connection with that person, or they're on some kind of a blibby blap chibber chap. I don't know what they do, but that individual selling you information just doesn't want to be involved with you. They don't want to know what you're all about. They don't give a shit. And they usually don't even know what they're doing. There's one of them who's never owned a single laundry ever. Wow. Sorry. Pisses me off. And that's my impetus for doing this. Keeping those people tamped down as much as I can. Lee, what's up, Danny? I'm next. Get it. Excited. Love you, Lee. Does it work in Canada? Laundromat Encounters is this individual's name on the top chat. Does it work in Canada? I have to wonder why you named yourself Laundromat Encounters. And it seems like, at the very least, you must be steeped in this somehow. Does it work? Does what work in Canada? What we do here, what I do? Yeah. Yeah. Randy says something intelligent. It seems as though nobody else does. Try not to be an idiot. It seemed like mid-call he started thinking he could turn it over himself. Well, I think the end of the call is where we heard the only change, which was, I got to go. And I think mid-call, he didn't understand because he's like, well, what happens to not the existing equipment? What happens to the existing equipment is a common landlord question. Oh, that's normally where he spent $500,000 on the building, which was appropriate, and another $100,000 because it's a laundromat. If it was a nail salon, he wouldn't have given $100,000 more. If he paid for that equipment, he wants to know. But he didn't ask what happens to the existing equipment. Strangely, he asked, what happens to your equipment when we are divorced in 15 years? And that's why I told him, I don't care. It'll be in the same disposition as this equipment in a well-run laundromat. Jeff says yes. I don't know what he's saying yes to. Tim, holy cow, Danny, you did 2 leases signed today. You're the king. Thank you. 2 leases signed, Tim, and another one is in flux, who we will talk to. And really, we've got folks like Danny Q who are maybe going to start, get excited, maybe get a store later. I don't know. But I guarantee you, if he does not start, it will not happen. Or maybe he's independently wealthy and he wants to spend $1 million on a laundromat, which means he's not looking to profit. He's looking to give someone else profit, and that person profits by selling a laundromat. Got it? Good. Tim says he did get a notification when we went live. Good to know. Thank you, Tim. Todd says he got a live notification. Thank you, Todd. Tim says followers that don't have both YouTube and their phone allowing the alerts won't get them. There you go. Up in your face, YouTube is this guy's name. No notification, he says. Tim, you recommend 24 hours on all locations, or this is safe ones? No laundromats in a safe location. I recommend 24 hours in all of them. Here's Wade from the Great White North. Hey, Danny, hope your day is going great. You never said you liked the photos of my store, by the way. What do you think? Oh, in your thing with the email? I don't know. I don't look at your emails. Also, I'm here currently at the JOB. Wade has a laundromat, and he's in Canada. He got it for free. We negotiated the lease. Excuse me. Up in your face is Paul. Thank you, Paul. Is the negotiation fee for every call or good for unlimited? Tim, you must not have the course yet, Mr. McCoy. Imagine the complete and utter that I would be if I charged you per call. There's no way to do that. It's been well thought out for those that are level-headed for the decades I've been doing this. Danny, I'm in New York City. Laundromats are on the small size to be profitable. You said we're looking for 2,000 square foot. No, I did not. I never said that. Most laundromats here are 800 square feet to 1,200. Can I work with that size? I never said that. Get the silly course. 1,500 square feet, 25 washers. Now, laundromats in the city, depending on the borough, if you're talking about Manhattan, yes, they will be smaller. They won't be 800 square feet. You don't know what we're talking about. We're talking about everything under the roof, from wall to wall. That's the square footage of the location. The restroom is included. The mop room is included. The stuff you do not see. An 800 square foot total would have about 4 or 5 washers. Ain't going to work. And that would be an OPL for all the apartments upstairs. Ain't going to work for the street corner. All that being said, they work in New York because people come down from their apartment with laundry on their back. They do work. Same as San Francisco, which I need to get with Barron and do his opening. Oy vey. Luis says it's hot today. Are we talking about the weather? We ran out of shit to say. I'm also at my JOB. See, only course people know to say JOB and not job. Laundromat Encounter says you blocked my personal account, so I have to comment through this account. Well, you sound like a pretty serious. What did you do? What did you do to make me block your personal account? Because I rarely do that, and normally I'll tell people, hey, I'm going to block you. Don't do the dumb thing. But then you went ahead and did Laundromat Encounters as your name. You might be a troublemaker. Joe, how do you find out about impact fees? The township. Why? You don't build laundromats, so it doesn't matter. Tim, again, who hasn't seen the course, what's the difference between someone who makes a great operator versus a mediocre one? Everything. Joe says he got a notification. Thank you, Joe. Mike Nichols, hey, Danny, enjoyed the course and extra content. Still scouting. I found out what seemed to be the perfect takeover, but soon found out why. There's a brand new facility 2.1 miles away. Mike, we should talk. Smash the consultation button. Let's get on the phone because 2.1 miles is probably far enough. If the store you're scouting that you think is perfect, if you retooled it, that 2 miles is a big enough buffer that you're going to get everybody on the other side of town to come to you. Does that make sense? They won't drive past your store when you're properly advertising it. There's that word again. There's Candace Owens, meet Kevin, and then there's Danny, boss level 1000. My daughter is an influencer with that group. Candace Owens is awesome. Love you, Danny. And all you're about. I know you know already, but you change for nobody. Correct. Why would I? Don't have to. Thank you. Great compliment. I appreciate that. Meet Kevin? Okay. Randy says, okay, got to ask, what on earth must someone do to get blocked here? Yeah, I mean, he's not, I have a free store. You saved me money, but still blocked. Okay. If that's the case, why? I'm asking you already why I blocked you and you didn't tell me. What was your other username? Because I blocked like 2 people. You're probably calling somebody names on here. If you have a free store and I saved you money, but you didn't get, I have no idea. He says, okay, I don't block people, bro. You would have had to be on here. I'm done with this conversation. Send me an email right now. Cut and paste this. This is for everybody. Danny at freelaundromat.com. Okay? You can go to the website. You can find me. You did. Sorry. Okay, I did. What was your previous username? We're all very excited to hear what you did. It must have been something. Why are you sorry that I blocked you? I have a free store. You save me money, but still blocked. Okay, I don't know how to unblock somebody because I just do it during the lives. I don't have any moderators. We're an hour into this thing, bro. What was your previous, what's your other account's name? Edge of my seat, says Randy. Yeah, me too. And there's poop all over it. Okay, let's get Eric on the phone. What Danny D does is put some X's over here so that I know where I'm at. Kill shot. And then I'll know where to find my space when I come back. Feel free to keep jumping on. What I want to know from you, Laundromat Encounters, I'm not asking for your real name or anything crazy. The previous call, he just sent me a thing with his fireworks stand. Damn. Just bringing you in on the fun. The life of Danny. I'll email you, he says. All right, well, obviously you got something to hide. You'll email me. Thank you. Send me an email because I want to chit chat. What's your other username? You really don't know why I blocked you? And get the course. Hi, Danny. Roosevelt from Ohio. Hello, Roosevelt from Ohio. We know more about Roosevelt than we know about Laundromat Encounters, whoever that is. A lot of fakers on the internet, man. It's easy to be fake AF.
Danny, how's your day been?
Oh, no one cares. So he sent an email, and the only text that he sent me, by the way, was the same day we had the call, and he said, good, or something like that, because I said, we're going to review the lease today. So it's pretty telling when he emails you, and he says, oh, he CC'd me, so I see it here.
Yeah.
Hope you had a nice weekend. How is the lease review going? And will you be in a position to meet at the landlord's office to sign the lease? He didn't say when. Yeah. Once you omit your $36,000. This is scary. I'm afraid to call. What if he says no? Please let me know if you think you'll need time to review the lease. Then no problem at all. But I'll just need to coordinate with my colleagues to meet and sign as I'll be traveling starting on June 20th. All he gives a shit about is his trip to Disneyland, this guy.
Yeah, I think he just wants to be present with the landlord for the signing.
That's adorable. Okay.
And then I could take a picture with him so you could see it.
Oh, my goodness. I can't wait. All right. We have... please tell me you put some bullet points together for me. Yes, you did.
Yeah,
Section 1.
here at the top.
3. Commencement at end date of term. Are these in order of, like, is the 36 grand the last one? Yeah, there you go. Nicely done.
Yep.
He's giving no tenant improvement money. Well, fuck him.
Yeah, I remember you made that a point. Then I put your hammer explanation down here. That was the whole fucking hammer you said.
We don't give you $37,000 and you boot your tenant. They want us to pay their legal fees and get rid of the defaulting tenant. We're doing them a favor. We'll bring 37 grand, but they better write us a check for 38 because we're bouncing the defaulting tenant for them. Yeah, that's kind of inside baseball. It's the way that I see it. They have this monopoly game that they're playing. And those that don't recall, we had this whole discussion on, I think it was the last live. It might have been anyway. Where we were solely talking to, we've got 2 clients in 2 states on this call. But yeah, this is the point. We would never review a lease and instantly call them up, mostly because we don't really know what they're thinking. And now we do because it's every day. Oh, and there's not a lot of psychology involved when they have an existing tenant, but they are going to have to take him and throw him out the front window and hope he doesn't cut his neck. I like having an audience who laughs at my jokes. All right, so the first thing we talk about is commencement ending date of term. We're redlining this because it says the term shall commence 30 days following satisfaction of the termination contingency. Lesser remaining possession of the locations. What explain this to me. I'm an idiot.
So I think you originally said to do 30 days post the exit of the current entities. In the current lease, they do have a termination contingency at the very bottom, which is basically them exiting. The termination contingency will be satisfied once the landlord gets the repossession of the location. And so to make it more simple, I just made it say post 30 days after the satisfaction of the termination contingency.
All right. Well, we're not going to, you just redline it and hope that they fix it in such a way. So what I'm going to bring up is, 30 days post.
Exit of the entity.
Yeah, 30 days post his exit.
Yeah. Okay.
Because the goal of this call is to have him kind of fast and furiously writing stuff down. And current op. So it's not just a phone call. Hey, we're not going to give you 36 grand, 37 grand. Have a nice day. Click.
Yeah.
Section 3, leasehold improvements. Says that we take location as is, but we agreed the landlord would replace the damaged ceiling tile. Okay, not a big deal. Again, I'm going to say, look, none of this is a big deal. And he's going to be ready to, okay, good. Nothing's a big deal. Don't forget you said you do the ceiling tile, right? That's what that is. Correct?
Yeah, I put that. It was in his email, May 30th.
Yeah. Oh, very nice. Love it. And I don't mean to be a dick, but I am. And I will happily remind him. Hey, we take notes and we take this very seriously. 250 usage. It's for coin laundromats. And you're not to sell items that compete with other tenants in the plaza. Who do you think competes with that?
So in the non-Chicago location, there's a next door tenant that has like video gaming slots, like those types of adult
Understood.
slots. So
okay. You don't have a dollar.
We can put skill games in here.
Right. You don't have a dollar store that sells soap. It's not your concern. It's really the skill games. So
yeah,
we want, I don't care how they write this or change the contingency. They could even say not skill games, but that's what we're really concerned about. Because a laundromat is an ideal place. And it's in the non-Chicago location, right? Because that's where they are allowed. We're not looking to put a speakeasy in with a secret laundry door that opens, even though that would be really ultra fucking cool. Article, I don't speak Greek, option to extend. They want us to provide in writing 6 months prior to. Yeah, I think this is boilerplate for them. So what we want it to do is, did you have an attorney look at any of this?
No.
Okay, and that's fine. We all know, go back and look at the other video. I'm telling you right now, Eric, have an attorney look at all of this. But in reality, it's a lease. We want the options that we'd have agreed to extend without our intervention. That's all I'm going to say, right? However they want to put that in writing. And this is probably just more boilerplate stuff. And then the last thing, and this is how I'm going to say it to him, $37,630. We need to scratch that. It's a deposit, and essentially, they're giving us how many months up front?
4.
Okay. This is just notes for me. Look, if I was trying to get clicks, right, this video would say, Danny gets $37,630 for free and a laundromat. But it's true. It's not clickbait. It's true. And this is how we play the game. If you think it's not a game, you're wrong. You need that money as part of your deposit on your equipment, which is not true either, but he doesn't know that. You're only giving us 4 months of abatement, bro. Part of us moving forward, and here I am again, this is just academia. Part of us moving forward with this was coming to the table without out-of-pocket money. I've got landlords providing me with hundreds of thousands in TI. You're giving us none. You're giving us only 4 months up front. And the total is what? I know. How much is it all together? 8, 7? With the
7 in total.
Total 7 with future months. So I know that. I don't want to give him the ability in an argument or a debate to say, no, it's 7 because it takes the wind out of my sails. I'll say, you only give us 4 months abatement, total of 7 with future months. See what I mean? And then he can't say, no, it's 7. Trying to throw me off. And, you know, he's not a nice guy. He's not a mean guy. It's got nothing to do with any of that. It's just about getting this done for you. He's not going to say okay on this call. He doesn't have the ability to say okay. I really don't believe he does. He's not going to say fine. But they've gone so far as to approve your non-existent financials. They've decided that you're the right guy. They're going to give you 2 free laundromats. We've been back and forth so much. There's a psychological component to this, right? They've decided you're the tenant. They've made up their minds. And now we're saying all you got to do is scratch the deposit. That's all. Imagine if my first ever call, when I called up and I said, hey, whatever your normal deposits are, we don't pay them. Whatever your first and last month rent, kind of bullshit. Like, right, I mean, it's first and last, month 5, first month's rent. Like, no, you'll get the first month's rent, but you'll get it. I mean, you don't mind paying the first month's rent, right? You can bring that.
Yeah, I can bring that.
Yeah, let's do that. First, we got to have some skin in the game. But I'm not going to say that. I'm going to let him say it. Well, we've never had anyone not pay a deposit. Well, you can't say that tomorrow. All right, you know all this bullshit. It's just a matter of doing it. Let's call him up. Stand by. Anything else? Any last minute words before you walk the plank?
No, I think that's it. We're ready.
And I'm going to put all this in, take it all out of legalese and just put it in common terms. And I'll say, look, I'll email you all this stuff. Security deposit, $13,000. Cam's first rent, security deposit. Give me a break, dude. No, thank you. Why would we negotiate free rent and then come in and give them a check that pays all of it? Right? I mean, but because everybody else does it, it's not really a reason. All right, here we go.
Because they think they're doing us a favor with those free rent.
Yeah, well, the air conditioning better be kicking because they agreed to.
Yeah, they agreed to 12 months of warranty.
Warranty, yeah. And anything that's going to go wrong will go wrong in 12 months. Good God. Dump his cell phone number in here because I don't see it on his contact.
Scroll down to page 10.
That is not
It's
you.
at the very top of page
10. That is not you doing it. All right, there it is. Got it. Why is that not in the contact with his last name on it? Oh, there it is. It's in his contact. I'm sorry. I don't know how to iPhone. Here we go. Stand by.
All right.
Actually, I'm going to send him a text too. I'm just boring the living shit out of YouTube right now. I'm pretty sure of that, but you know, deals are important. You think he's in California?
Not sure, to be honest. Maybe he has a ranch like you, how you have a ranch in Arizona.
I doubt it. All right. All that just to send him a little text that says, I'm calling you. Pick up your phone. All right, here we go. Stand by. Now I know you subscribed. Thumbs it.
Hey, Kenny.
How's life?
Life is good. Summertime.
Where is this phenomenal vacation you're going? What's all this hype?
We're going to Greece.
Nice.
Annual pilgrimage to Greece. Yeah,
Love it.
my wife and I were both Greek, so
Okay.
take the kids back. Try to go back every year.
How are the kids able to take their own suitcases? Are they able to be in charge?
Where the oldest is 8, the youngest is 3. There's a couple in
no.
between there, so
Don't bring them.
we've got some carry-ons for some issue. My wife thinks they're ready to take their own suitcases, but I know I'm going to end up carrying everything.
You know what? A good move
know
for
how
the
it goes.
3-year-old. In Greece, you can flip over the rental crib that they bring in. It's legal to flip it over and put the kid inside like a prison. So, and then you can just go out.
Yeah.
Mine are 16, 19, and 22. So I told my wife years ago, we're in Venice carrying the children around. I said, not till they're old enough, not only to travel on their own, but to carry their own briefcases. Anywho, all right, I've got some red lines, but I wanted to talk to you and instead of, clobbering you small stuff. And we'll send an email follow-up. Section 103, commencement, ending of the term. Basically, we just want to redline it. It basically says that we're going to start commencement. All of this has to do with your existing tenant and whether or not you can get them out. We just wanted to say 30 days post-exit. So when all of your gobbledygook is done and finished, that it'll commence 30 days post. And it could be, a couple weeks, but it depends on where it falls. That should make sense. I think this is just part of all of this seems like it's part of your boilerplate lease. Does that make sense? I'll email it to you.
Yeah, I think they tailored it. They got their own in-house attorneys. They tailored it. But let me see. So if we get them out August 10th, you want the lease to start 30 days after that?
Correct. Whatever that date is.
Okay,
so we can get
a little heads up.
That's all.
How about that's essentially like another month of free rent though. The landlord might say that, but how about we just give you some notice, like a 2-week notice or something.
That's why I'm frankly not looking at it like 30 days, but I can see that point of it. That's why we're doing this.
I see what you're saying though. You want to get some indications so you can plan.
Yeah, I mean, when you get the legalese done and they say, yes, we are vacating 30 days from that, or you could, we could say 2 weeks. We could decrease it to that, and I'll email that to you.
Yeah, maybe we should say 2 weeks, and I'll talk that through with them too.
We only have 5 points here, and Eric goes through this thing with a fine-tooth comb.
Okay.
Section 302, leasehold improvement. Everything as is where is, it says, but you did agree to do the ceiling tiles for us, so that's all the hung ceiling.
Which property?
Good question. I think it was a general thing. I'd have to look at the notes. I make sure I take notes when we talk. Come on, don't cheap out on some ceiling tile here. I'm not sure. Let me note that. Which property?
Yeah, which property, and is it, we don't want, I'm assuming it was just a couple stained ones you want replaced.
Yeah. I don't recall ever saying anything but both because it should be that, but I'll when we email you, I will put a finer point on it.
It's not, and it's not all the ceiling tiles, right? It's just a couple.
No, in our just the damaged ones, anything that's yellowed or damaged from previous roof leaks and shit like that. Shouldn't be everything.
Okay.
If it's everything, we're all in trouble. We're going over the falls in a barrel. 2501 usage, and we just want to clarify, and this looks like boilerplate stuff. We can't sell water in the laundromat because you've got a water and ice vendor there. Sometimes I get issues with this boilerplate verbiage where it says we can't sell the same vended items that someone, and then you've got a dollar store who sells soap. You know what I mean? It's not that. Our concern is that the non-Chicago location has skill games, and we just want to make sure that's not going to be an issue, because we want to be not, legal skill games. We're not going to put a speakeasy or a hidden door behind a dryer, but if we are able to get legal skill games, we definitely want to do that. Does that make sense?
Have you ever done that in your laundromat?
Oh yeah. Very nice.
To get
Very
slots?
high
You're talking
end.
slots?
No, they're legal skill games. So they're not allowed in Chicago. There's a lot of places they're not allowed. But they are not slot. They're skill games. So that's the cute part, where it is
I wonder
not.
if that other tenant has that there.
They
right?
do.
I need to
That's
make
why
sure.
we brought it up. Yeah. I'm not looking to throw anybody under the bus, but that's the only reason we
Gotta
brought
make
it
sure
up.
that they don't have an exclusive though, like
Yeah, that's
just like we wouldn't lease to another laundromat, you know?
Yeah, that's true. We would have to, it's something to look at. So we don't want this to slow the whole deal or halt anything, but it will, it's
I
important
hear you.
to
Let
us.
me see. Is it the
Yeah.
okay? Okay.
I'll have to,
Okay,
let me see if Eric put a note here about which location it is, I think.
Well, if it's outside Chicago, it's got to be the Berkeley.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah. That location, yes, but I'm not sure.
Allowed in Chicago.
The tenant right next door has them.
Yeah, that's
Exactly. And I highly doubt that they've got the stickers on them, so I'm pretty sure it's legal. Article 26, again, we'll put all this in the email. Option to extend. I think this is boilerplate. You want in writing 6 months prior to year 3. Our option renewals, we just want to make sure that they renew without us having to do anything at the time. Does that make sense? I have in all of my leases where the options renew unless otherwise stated in writing. We'll happily state in writing if we're going to try to parachute out.
Yeah.
And we don't think you guys are going to try to screw us, but that's the way everybody starts, right? This is the honeymoon.
Okay. Yeah, as long as you're not in default and all that.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the last small thing is the $37,630. Again, understand this is boilerplate stuff. We have acquiesced to no TI money, only 4 months of abatement. I know it's a total of 7 when we get into the future months, but I don't bring deposits to my leases. At the end of the day, I know what you're doing. This is money so you can legal fees for this previous tenant, et cetera, so on. We're not in a hurry. We're not in a rush. So to me, a deposit for a lease on a 15-year term, we need this cash, honestly, to pay for the deposit on the equipment that we're bringing in, which is a big deal. And if all this back and forth has been for nothing, I get it. I understand it. But at the end of the day, we're asking you scratch the deposit. We'll bring first month's rent. That's not a big deal. Of course, that makes sense to us.
Yeah, I mean, deposit's a big deal though, because it's not necessarily to pay for any prior tenant's fees or legal fees, but it's more of, it's something where like if it's a rent collateral, if somehow you guys kept missing rent, or it's if you left the space in somewhat of a condition. I mean, it's pretty standard to have. I think they get security deposits on all their leases, to be honest.
Well, you can't say that tomorrow, and that's me kidding. At the end of the day, laundromats are different. We're not going to replace the curtains and the carpet. Back in the good God, I don't even want to remember the days when I was renting apartments, but the standard deposit is used to clean the place up, and you don't get it back unless you're a lunatic and you never, ever lived in the place. This is different. We're looking at probably $1 million in equipment costs for us. And the preponderance of my landlords provide heavy TI. I've got a lease with 2 stores. It'd be $150,000 per. in TI. So again, I'm not arguing against it. I'm saying that, you know, it doesn't make sense for us to bring this in and then say that we're getting truly abated rent. And we'll put it in writing. We want to see what, you know, what you can get done. At the end of the day, that's money that we need to spend. And I understand, oh, it's standard. The money comes in play if we don't pay. Well, if we don't pay, it's a whole world of hurt. So it's standard for us that a lease deposit, it's not a slap in the face, doesn't hurt my feelings that everybody else pays it, but this is not a dollar store, and it's certainly not a Braille dartboard location that we're thinking, hey, this is going to work for the blind. We're not throwing dice here saying that we hope that this business works. We know what works. So let us put it all in writing. When I deal with landlords
Yeah, put it in writing. I'll talk to them.
Good. That's it. That's all.
Might be tough though, just based on my experience. Okay.
My daughter
you
and
think
I
we'll get those
are
comments
competition shooters. We're going to Greece to shoot the Shotgun World Shoot in 2026. I don't know when the date is, but
Oh, that's
it's
awesome.
never
Nice.
been. It's exciting. We just got back from the Czech Republic. She's 13th in the world. I don't know where I place. I don't ever look at the scores, but we rep for Team USA.
Wow.
Fun. A lot of fun.
Good for you.
I know. I agree.
That's great.
All right. Let me yell at Eric. We'll put an email together and fire it off here in 20 minutes or so.
Okay. Sounds
Thanks,
good.
buddy. Ciao.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Tell him he's not getting his 37 grand, and he says, thank you. I know I said one thing that I wasn't going to mention first month's rent, but I did. That was a flaw. I was reading my own notes. Don't forget, we can come back to this and change and tweak some things. But at the end of the day, I told you exactly what he'd say. We always get a deposit. Isn't that funny? Like, you know what they're going to say. We always get it. Well, just because you've always done it that way, it doesn't make it right. You're not giving us.
He was kind of flabbergasted when you said it too. He was like, "It's more of a then
Right.
he started to stumble.
Right.
He couldn't think of a good reason why they need a security deposit.
Right. Hilarious. All right. Well, there's nothing left to do, but he's not the decision maker. When it's the actual landlord, you get into this whole knockdown, drag out, and everybody gets mad, and that's not him.
Yeah.
The only way to get what you want is to ask. The only way to get what you need is to take it. No, I don't know about that. Good. What else?
I think that's it, right? The only action is to wait, or do you need me to send them something in 20 minutes like you told them?
Oh, no. Go ahead and write up everything that I said. We're not going to, there's no need to wait. The ball is firmly in our court, as they say.
Okay. I'll go ahead and I'll scratch it off.
You want to stay on the
and I'll send it
live while
over.
I fire off all these questions and you toot my horn, so to speak?
Yeah, go for it. I already ate dinner, so I'm not hungry.
My horn has not been tooted in hours, by the way. All right. There's that word again. Yeah, Laundromat Encounters, whoever he is, says he'll email me. Thank you. Hi, Danny Roosevelt from Ohio. Hello. Damn, is he in WITSEC? I know. What the hell? Tell us who you are. Laundromat Encounters, some kind of dating site that people meet up at laundromats. Oh, goodness. He's going to be angry. Wade says, laugh my ass off at your comment, Wade. You're so funny. He's laughing MAO. I know what that means. I've been known to type some funny comments. I give Danny a chuckle at the Google document sometimes. Shut up. You're not funny at all. Lindsay says, hopefully not Laundromat operates only, or it would be 99% guys. Oh, yeah, exactly. Thank you, Lindsay. It's all dudes, isn't it? I guess it's like construction and laundromats. And then, very true, says Wade. Now, I hate when you guys talk amongst yourselves because it's boring to me. It's cutting edge, Danny, says Randy Miller. So true, Lindsay. Oh, good Lord. James here. Are the cities and towns that have laws or ordinances that will prohibit 24-hour laundromats? I don't think I have come across 24-hour store in my scouting yet. Dude, you haven't come across 24-hour laundromats because people are stupid. I have only ever encountered one where the landlord said, You can't have a 24-hour store here. Why do you say that? Well, I'm sure it's because of city ordinance, etc. But no, he only said that because the town was sleepy after 10. And he was wrong. They have no city ordinances. So, Jamie, again, that is a monster in the closet that you, under the bed, pardon me, that you are fearful of. It doesn't exist. No. Laundromats, come on. We're very serious about our city. Or you can have homeless shitting in their hand and eating it, but you can't have a store open 24 hours. Eric, you're supposed to laugh out loud at that. Randy says he didn't even know what to say. Yeah, he did kind of bumble there when I said, and it's a good thing when you say, yeah, no, everything's great. It's perfect. Let's do it. All our paperwork's in order. A month after you kick the guy out, not the day of, and no $37,000. What? Yeah. I wondered the same thing. Not sure why all laundromats open 24 hours. Because people are afraid. Because they're afraid that someone's going to poopy in their trash can. It's silly. You build your store. It's in the course. You make it bulletproof, and you back out the door and flip the sign to open. That's it. Your open sign should burn out every couple of years because it's always on. Kill shot. Now, fucking Tim is talking to James. I saw a video where an operator had automation, Alexa, cameras, announcements, lighting control. Yeah, but you don't try to lock the doors. It's silly because then the lowlifes are going to try to figure out a way around it. Automation is my cup of tea, says Tim, and I plan on doing that in my future stores. And remote monitoring. Remote monitoring is without a doubt 100%. Tim, we've been on your ass. I don't think you've seen the course by some of your comments. Hi, Tim. My store is also a smart store, says Wade, with everything you just mentioned. It is the best way to run these stores. Wade, you should be working for the man. You're going to get in trouble. They're going to look over your back. Why don't you go ahead and move your desk down to storage B? There's an obscure movie reference for you. Roosevelt says the contract you were just negotiating was for 2 locations or just one? Two locales. Very good.
A twofer.
A twofer. Our friend Eric is going to be rolling in it, as they say. He's not even going to know what to do with all the money. I'm reading an email from our friend who is Laundromat, blah, 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 whatever it is. And I'm going to, and I don't think he would mind. I'm not going to say his name, obviously. Oh, damn. I promote you, meaning Danny, on all the Laundromat Facebook pages to all the newbies. For some reason, I've been blocked on your YouTube videos. No big deal. It might just be a mistake. My Facebook name is now, and then his name, since my account was hacked a couple of years ago. See, that's the thing. I don't know if something gets hacked or maybe they hacked it and they were saying dumb shit on my YouTube. I don't know, my friend, and we are friends. Not sure if that has anything to do with your blockage. There you go, probably. And I do have editors that are doing stuff, but they don't mess around with my account at all. I bought your course and I did acquire a free location in 2020 that now does $300,000 a year in revenue. It's my smallest grossing store, but takes up such little time to run, about an hour a week. I'm sure I'll have me in your, I'm sure you have me in your phone. And then here's his number. Thanks for all your help. I wish everyone watched your video. Thanks for all your help. I wish everyone watched your videos that want to get into the laundromat business. Me too, bud. I have a competitor opening up this week, brand new location, and he bought all top loaders and crappy 18-pound soft mount front loaders. I asked him if he ever watched Danny D'Angelo. He said, Danny, who? I laughed and told him, Google your name. I bet he never did. So sad. Rich almost said his name. You are a good man. I appreciate that. And you're a good man because here you are talking to a future competitor and saying, dude, you're doing it wrong. That's really kind of you. Here we go. Let's see if he's in my phone. I'm pretty sure he is. What'd you have for dinner?
Focaccia pizza.
Oh, that means open face. All right. He put his phone number in the email. Pick up your phone.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. Please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
I have to admit, I don't have this number in my phone, but your name sounds very familiar. This is Danny D'Angelo. My number's on your caller ID. Send me a text, please. Let's get on a future call. Eric. All right, for the cheap seats, this is what's funny to me. I get an email, and the email says, "Hey, Danny, thanks for all you do. I opened my laundromat last month. Here's some pictures." I get emails like that all the time. They're really ambiguous. They don't go into a lot of detail. I've been doing this a long time. And I myself don't jump on the computer and say, "Hey, man, you're my only real person that's ever done this, but don't tell the internet that. Here you see an exact example. Either that or I am really involved in the background with all kinds of fakes." And you, Eric, are a fake too, right? You must be.
Oh, yeah.
No focaccia, whatever that means. You just looked that up. The story gets deeper and darker with more lies the further you go. There's no focaccia. The best compliment I get from clients, existing or future, is "You're real." And it's not really much of a compliment because it just speaks to all of the other pieces of dog shit who exist, who are just fucking bold-faced liars. Is it bald or bold? I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments. And here we see this unfold in real time. Hey, I changed my name to Laundromat Guy because you blocked my other guy, and I'm all over Facebook and everywhere else tooting your horn. Cool. And I recognize the name. When we hang up, I'll drill down on who he is. If this is all I did for a living, right, I would have teams of people going into the background and finding out folks like this. What's your name? What's your thing? I would have bounties out for those that are doing this without my help, with nothing but my course. I don't think anybody should pick up the phone and call a landlord. Do you, Eric?
No, not unless you're Danny.
Well, okay. Thanks for that glowing endorsement. And, you know, I'm not easy to work with. I know that. I'm the lease Nazi. I know that, even for clients. I know it's maddening. How many numbers did we call where nobody answers, where we leave tons of messages? How many? 6?
Too many. Yeah. If it's for a laundromat, call Danny. But if it's anything else, like a jewelry store, go to your realtor or whatever.
Yeah. It's just, it is the nature of this beast, and what we do is different. What I do is different. What I always did is different. And what we are doing is different. Joshua says it's bold-faced. Where did you just Google that? I want to know how you personally know that. Where did you acquire this knowledge, Joshua? All right, I've run out of steam. I appreciate each and every one of you. I love most of you. I will get back to the guy who sent me an email most certainly. He now has my updated cell phone number, if in fact he never did, so don't abuse it. For the rest of you, you've got your marching orders. Go make a comment in the video. Say goodbye, Eric.
All right. Ciao, everybody.
Ciao. Adios, kids. Free laundromat. It's a real thing. Boink.